Welcome in Craft and Design 3.0. For my dear audience, in this video, I will describe some different and much beautiful ideas of dry simple welding project ideas or welding project for home decor or welding craft or welding different welding designs. Dear audience, first of all, I welcome you in my channel and I appreciate with my dear audience because my dear audience listen me much interestingly because my video have much grow up. Dear audience, in real, my topic is a welding project, a small simple welding project ideas, welding project for home decorations. uh, First of all, we prescribe a welding about welding because a welding is a fabrication process. Also, in previous my video, prescribed briefly that joins material, usually metals or thermoplastic, primarily by using high temperature to melt the parts together and allow them to cool, causing fusions. Common alternative method include solvent welding of thermoplastic using chemicals to melt materials being bounded without heat and solid state welding process which bond without melting such as pressure cooled welding and diffusion bonding. Metal welding is distinct from low temperature bonding techniques such as brazing and soldering. We don't melt the base metal, parent metal, and instead require flowing of filler metal to solidify their bonds. In addition to melting the base metal in welding, a filler material is typically added to the joint to form a pool of molten material. The weld pool that cools to form a joint that based on weld configuration. But full penetration fillet and can be stronger than the base material. Welding also requires a form of shield to protect the filler metals, melted metals from being contaminated or oxidized. Many different energy sources can be used for welding, including a gas flame chemical, an electric arc electrical, a laser, an electron beam, and friction and ultrasound. While often an industrial process, welding may be performed in many different environments, including in open air, underwater, and in outer space. Welding is a hazardous undertaking and precaution are required to avoid burns and electric shock, vision damage, inhalation of poisonous gas and fumes, and exposure to intense ultraviolet radiation. Until the end of 19th century, the only welding process was fork welding, which blacksmiths had used for millennia to join iron and steel by heating and hammering. Arc welding and oxy-fuel welding were among the first process to develop late in the century, and electric resistance welding followed soon after. Welding technology advanced quickly during the early 20th century as World War and drove the demand for reliable and inexpensive joining method. Following the wars, several modern welding techniques were developed, including manual methods like shielded metal arc welding. Now, one of the most popular welding method, as well as semi-automatic and automatic process, such as gas metal arc welding and submerged arc welding and flux core arc welding and electroslag welding. Development continued with the invention of laser beam welding and electron beam welding and magnetic pulse welding and friction stir welding in the later half of the century. So today, as the science continues to advance, robot welding is complex in industrial and also I say that in some development continued with invention of laser beam welding, electron beam welding, and magnetic pulse welding and friction stir welding in the later half of the century. But today, as the science continues to advance, robot welding is commonplace in industrial setting, and researchers continue to develop a new welding method and gain greater understanding of weld quality in a simple way, in a best configurative way of much beneficial in any factories for a learner in a learning process and other difference communications. So, dear audience, some in when we talk about a simple welding project, then gas welding is also much essential because it is a most common gas welding process is oxy-fuel welding, also known as oxyacetylene welding. It is one of the oldest and most welding and most versatile welding process. But in recent years, it has become less popular in industrial applications. So it is still widely used for welding pipes and tubes as well as repair works. So the equipment is relatively inexpensive and simple, generally implying the combustions of acetylene and oxygen to produce a welding flame temperature of about 3100. The flame, since it is less concentrated than an electric arc, so causes slower well cooling, which can lead to greater residual stresses and well distortions. Though it eases the welding of high alloy steels, a similar process, generally called oxy-fuel cutting, is used to cut metals. So, arc welding, one my dear audience and my dear guys question me in simple welding project, how much important is an arc welding? These processes use a welding power supply to create and maintain an electric arc between an electrode and the base materials to melt metals at the welding point. So they can use either direct current or alternating current and consumable or non-consumable electrodes. So the welding region is sometimes protected by some type of inert or semi-inert gas known as shielding gas, and a filler material is sometimes used as well. So arc welding process, one of the most common type of arc welding is shielded metal arc welding. It is also known as manual metal arc welding, stick welding. So electric current is used to strike an arc between the base material and consumable electrode rod, which is made of filler material and is covered with a flux that protects the weld area from oxidation and contamination by producing carbon dioxide gas during the welding process. So the electrode core itself acts as a filler material, making a separate filler unnecessary. So the process is versatile and can be performed with relatively inexpensive equipment, making it well suited to shop jobs and field work. So an operator can become reasonably proficient with a modest amount, like as I say that. inexpensive, making it well suited to shop job and field work. So an operator can become reasonably proficient with a modest amount of training and can achieve mastery with experience. So well times are rather slow since the consumable electrodes must be frequently replaced and because slag, the residue from the flux must be chipped away after welding. So, my dear guys, I think that my video and my idea inspired you much, and you gain from my video a lot of. If you interested my video, then subscribe my channel and like my video and share my video with your affectionate love. So, thank you very much, guys, for watching my video and listening my video once again. Thank you very much for watching my video.